Go live. Let me know if you're here. Good morning. This is Emerson with Atago, and today we'll be looking at NFC. What is NFC and how it works with our instruments and how you can use it to your advantage. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat and we can tend to your questions at that moment. If not, at the end of the presentation, we can also address your questions. All right. So let's start with what NFC is. And NFC is near field communication. There are different logos on the screen right now because different people represent it differently. The one to the left, this one is the official logo for NFC. Some people like us would use NFC with the little, what is that, signal icon. So NFC is near field communication, NFC, near field communication, and it's a set of communication protocols for communication of two electronic devices over 4 centimeters or over 1.5 inches or less in distance. So near field for both instruments need to be near each other, within 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches from each other. Okay, so you have to bring them close. This is important because later we're going to see how to use it, and you're going to have to bring your Atago instrument close to whatever device is reading that NFC. Not only do you need to bring it close, but you need to bring it close to the sensor itself. Okay, for some of you, NFC might be something new as a term, but NFC has been in the industry for a very long time. NFC is the technology that you use on your cards at work, the one that you check in and out of work with. You log in and out of work. For you guys that also have like an electronic bus pass or a train pass, those types of items have NFC. So they've been in the industry, in the communication or telecommunication industry, the IT industry, for a very long time. Now it's getting more popular because mobile devices have NFC, whether you're using Android or iPhone, they have NFC. And with the current situation in the world, the health situation, the no contact style is also becoming very popular. And with NFC, you don't need contact. You just have to bring it close to the instrument or bring the instrument close to the sensor. So it's also getting popular to the point that sometimes you have these very fancy business cards that you have all your data there, your name, your email, your telephone number. So instead of giving someone a business card, you can just tap that card on their cell phone and it'll transfer them that information. So NFC has been in the industry for a very long time, transferring contacts, sending documents to each other, communication within apps, contactless payment. A lot of credit cards have NFC already in it. That's the contactless payment that you just go to the cashier, or the cashier, and you touch your credit card, you tap your card on the machine. Technically, you don't need to tap it, you just bring it close. And then you also have NFC tags, which is something different, but also NFC technology. Any questions so far? All right. So what does NFC mean for you? Since I'm working at Atago, this is an Atago presentation. In terms of NFC, Atago instruments, you in quality control, what does it mean? For our instruments that have NFC, what it means is you have data storage and you have data output. So a lot of people say, oh, NFC, yeah, it's just data output. Yeah, but in order to have data, you need to have some type of storage. So if you have any instrument, any Atago instrument that has NFC, that means your readings are being stored in the instrument, and that reading, that data can be sent out to a device. Okay. For our PAL, for example, you can store 100 readings, and it's a cycle. So once those 100 readings are full, and you're gonna take the 101st sorry, reading, the last reading or your oldest reading is gonna be overwritten. So you're always gonna have the last 100 readings on the instrument, and the oldest record will be overwritten with the newest one. What do you need? So if you already have an Atago instrument, whether it be a PAL, a Palette, DOM24, you need some type of receiver for that data. The most common would be your mobile phone, since all mobile phones already have NFC. You can use your mobile phone, or you can use your PC. A lot of PCs are not coming with NFC, though I think some of some of Sony models might come with NFC, but NFC is not as wide on PCs as they are on mobile devices. So for some PCs, you might need a NFC reader that looks like this. It's basically a USB instrument and a card reader where you would place your instrument and it would transfer the data from here to your PC. Okay, so either one would work. Today we're gonna cover mostly the mobile side of things. But just to talk a bit more about when using the PC, you would need an adapter like this, and with the adapter, the reason I'm covering this part specifically is because this NFC reader may come in different shapes, different forms for different formats. So this here is a screenshot of the user manual. Read the user manual of your instrument and it'll tell you what type of NFC you have. So we're using the NFC Forum Type 4 tag or the ISO IEC 14443 Type 8 tag. So this is a very specific type of NFC. So if you're going to buy a third-party card reader like this for your PC, make sure it's able to read this type of tag or this type of data, because if it doesn't, then you're not going to receive the correct information. You're going to either not be able to connect it, or it's going to look like gibberish, like just random characters. And also we're going to see also I wanted to talk about the output. So it is just data strings that is going to be outputting. So in terms of, it's going to output like the date, the time, the bricks, the temperature, depending on the model. And it's going to look pretty much like this. There's the year, the month, the day, the hour, the time. The 12.3 would be bricks, and the 20.4 would be temperature. Is there any questions so far? All right. Okay, now back to the mobile device. Do you need an app? Yes, but it's not an Atago app. There are many NFC apps out there in your app store. They're very generic, and you can use most of them to get your data. In our user manual, we do recommend this one, NFC Tools. The reason we recommend this one, and it's labeled as an Apple app, but the NFC Tools is both in Apple and Android. But the reason we recommend this is because our new instruments, well, I wouldn't say new, for a while now, but not since the beginning, our instruments have been coming with a serial number for the instrument, so you can identify where these readings came from. And a lot of, and we'll see this later on, but some NFC softwares will only download the data, as in the reading that we spoke about here. It will not download the serial number. So this is the one that we recommend, because it'll download the data plus the serial number of the instrument, so you can better identify where the data came from. Okay. There's also third-party apps out there. Some companies are making some apps to use with Atago. There are also a couple of distributors that have developed their own app. For example, our very good distributor in Poland, Combest, they have their own app for for Android that works with PAL NFC. The link is going to be in the chat right now where you can find this. Not sure if it's an Apple, but I'm sure it's for the version I saw was for Android, Google or Android. So there's a link in the chat where you can take a look at the software. They developed the software specifically for Atago instruments. Okay. So next, part of using the NFC feature of the instrument is getting to know the phone or the device that you're going to use, because different manufacturers of mobile devices put the NFC sensor in different areas of the phone. I remember back to this, the instruments have to be within or under 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches. Okay, so you have to bring it pretty close. So in order to have the best connection possible, or to be a little less annoyed when trying to get the data, is get to know where your phone has the NFC sensor. And for example, I am using the iPhones, and the iPhones usually have it on the back at the top of the iPhone. So all of these images that you see in front of you right now, all 4 are the back of the instrument, and the iPhones have it to the top of the back of the iPhone. Some Android devices have it in the middle. It's not in the images here, but some have it in the middle. There's this one that has it in the top middle. There's some that have it in the corner or at the bottom. So get to know where the NFC sensor is on your mobile device, so you can bring that section of the phone close to the section of the PAL where the NFC sensor is. Okay. And on that topic, here is the PALs. So you have to get to know your PAL, not only your mobile device, but your PAL. Where is the NFC sensor? Whether it be a bricks model or a special scale model, salt model, bricks acid, bricks salt, or pH meter, they all have the same shape more or less. So the sensor is on the bottom, at the front on the bottom. So where the red square is, that's where the NFC sensor is for PAL series. For palette, actually, sorry, I need to correct this. For palette and PAL salt, the sensor is over here. So there is going to be an NFC logo up here. That is where your sensor will be. And for DOM24, it'll be between the 2 white buttons. Okay. So the reason I'm asking you to get to know your phone and your instrument is because you need to bring the sensor of your phone within 4 centimeters, oh, I'm losing it, 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches from your device. Okay, so for example here, I'm using the iPhone, so this is the back of my phone, the top back, and remember the PALs have the sensor right here, so I'm going to bring the back of my phone, the top portion of the back of my phone, to this area, and automatically the information will be transferred. There is no connecting like Bluetooth, there is no pairing like Bluetooth. You just bring it within proximity with under 1.5 inches, under 4 centimeters. Just bring it within that that distance, and then the data will be transferred quickly. If for some reason you get you didn't get the data, like it did the click or the buzz, but you didn't get it, it's because you might have moved the phone away too quickly or moved the instrument away too quickly. So put it within proximity, give it literally a couple of seconds, and it'll send the data. Yeah, each phone is different, and also the distance that the proximity they're bringing to each other also varies. So, for example, this photo, I have the iPhone and bring it to this area because the back of this phone is really close to this area of the PAL, like here, and then I'll get the automatic NFC approach tag. So I just bring it within proximity and I get this message that I'm getting NFC data. Okay. So Atago has been making instruments for a very long time, and some of you might be asking yourselves, does your instrument have NFC? If you want to check, most of the instruments that have NFC will have the NFC logo here, like at the bottom, or somewhere on the face of the instrument. But if you also want to make sure you can just do this on your phone, just bring your phone close to your PAL. Make sure that you're aligning the NFC sensor of your phone with the area of the instrument that has the NFC. So bring it close by, and if you get a buzz, if you get the information, then you know it has it. It's very easy. There's no pairing, there's no connecting, there's no, it's very easy. Just bring it into the proximity. Any questions so far? All right. Okay. So remember a bit ago I mentioned that these are the apps that this is the app that we recommend, and also this distributor has made this app specifically for Atago, so it works as well. But the reason we're recommending this one, and you can also use that one, is because not all apps grab that serial number. For example, here in red, you have the screenshot of a generic NFC reader. When I bring my phone in proximity with that app, with my PAL, I get the data. I get the date, I get the time, I get the bricks, I get the temperature, but that's it. That's all I get. What you see on the screen is what I got. If you use the app that we recommend, then you also get this serial number over here. So you get the data like here, but you also get the serial number. And the reason why that's important is because some of you have multiple instruments. Some of you might have a few PALs in the field, and you might have a pallet in the office or in the lab, or you might have a PAL with the beverage area of your company, and a PAL salt in the food area, and a PAL bricks salt or a PAL bricks acid in different areas, a PAL pH. So you might have different instruments out there, and you want the data, and you want to figure out, you need to know where this data is coming from. Maybe because a PAL is in the field and there's another PAL in the production process. So you need to know where this data is coming from. So each PAL comes with two serial numbers. One serial number, the top one, the one that starts with the letter, now we're starting with two letters, is the instrument's serial number that is also matching your calibration report, the one that comes with the instrument, okay? The second serial number, that's the NFC serial number. That's how you can tell where you got the data from. So for example, here you have the data. I don't know where this came from. Here, I have the data, but I also have the serial number of where it came from. So if I want to know what PAL this came from, I just take a look at the back of the PAL and match the serial number of the instrument to that of the tag. Notice though that the first four numbers of the, let me see if I can zoom in. Oh yes, I can. I hope I could zoom in. Notice that the first four letter numbers are different. So the serial number is of the last digits of the instrument. The first four is actually, I don't know what this is, but the serial number starts as of this point here, not from the beginning. So that's how you're able to tell what instrument it came from. Okay. And bear with me, we're almost to the end. Also, we mentioned that we have different models. Okay, this reads bricks, this reads salt, this reads bricks and acid, bricks and salt, and pH. So they're all reading different things. So it's expected that the data that you're getting from an instrument is also different. So, for example, the one that we have in the screenshot right now is of a PAL brick salt, obvious by the instrument right there. The data sent out will be date, time, bricks, salt, temperature, and the low sodium index. Okay, so there's a lot of data here. So in this case, one reading will be all of this: date, time, bricks, salt, salt index, and temperature. So these two rows, the first two rows, are all your data. You can know it's the data because it's followed by a comma. So date and time, comma, bricks, comma, salt, comma, salt index, comma, and temperature. Okay. Here are examples of different screenshots for different instruments. Oh, hold on. I think I need, oh, there we go. For example, this is the PAL 1. You just have the straight date, time, bricks, temperature. This is the PAL bricks acid F5. It is a lot more data, so just like the brick salt, you have two rows of data: date, time, bricks here, acid here. And since the F5 has different scales, like citric scale, high citrus acid scale, low citrus acid scale, and other types of acid scales, this model will also tell you, oh, this was from the citrus scale, or this one was from the malic, I think, or some other scale it has. A couple of them. So it'll indicate what scale you're reading at, or that reading was from. And the Hikari and PAL 1 would look very similar to each other because they both read just bricks and temperature. And then the brick salt we just reviewed in the here. Okay. So those are some examples. And this brings us to the end of the presentation. I'm going to share a video after this, but this brings us to the end of the presentation. How does this help you? How does NFC help you? First of all, NFC is not a feature that you buy or pay extra for. All of the models we covered today have NFC. Technically, they've had NFC for a few years now, since just before I came to Japan. So it's about 3-4 years now. So most of your instruments should already have NFC. So you're not paying extra for it. It's a feature your instrument has. So you might as well take advantage of it. And the ways that this can help you is you can minimize your mistake because you're not writing down information. You're not writing down information. You're not putting on paper that can be damaged or can be lost. Or some people like me that I don't have a very good handwriting, so people have trouble understanding my handwriting. So it minimizes those types of mistakes. Also saves time, not only because you're not going to be writing down the information, but because it takes such a few seconds. Well, you don't need to take don't need to record the reading after each. You don't need to record the data after each reading. Okay, you can read 99 samples before you try to get the data, or before you get the data. So you don't have to write down 99 times, or you don't have to download the data every time you take a reading. There's up to 199, up to 100 readings that you can do without needing to download that data once. So once you hit 99 readings or 100 readings, download that data and then start with the next batch. So it saves time, not only because you're not writing down information, but because you can do so much before you need to get information. Also traceability. Traceability in terms of where did this data come from? Is this data from the production floor? Is this data from the beverage area or from the food area? Is this data from out in the field? Is this data from wastewater? Like, where is this data coming from? Now you can tell because of the serial number. Or this instrument with this serial number, that's out in the field. This one, that's in production. So you can figure out where your data is coming from. So that gives you that traceability. And you can also have it as a reference, like, wait, what bricks did I just read? And you can reference it back. So it improves your record keeping. And if you don't have a record keeping, then you can start having a very good record keeping because your instruments have NFC. Any questions? No? All right. So I'm gonna share, I think I'm gonna share, oops, not that, sorry. I'm gonna share, okay, so this is a Proudbricks salt that we have already, I presented on this a while ago, but I want to look for the NFC. All right, there we go, NFC. This is how easy it is to transfer the data. I'm just telling you I'm using my iPhone, so that's where the sensor is. So that's the recommended app. I click scan or read, boom, that quick, and that's it. It took less than a second to get the data. Now I'm just explaining here about the serial number, which I already did here, but that's it. It just took a second and I have my readings. Okay, same thing with this one. This is a video that's not out yet. I'm doing the video manual for the Palo 1 2S for metalworking because it has a very nice feature for the metalworking folks. And same thing, see, I just put the PAL there, boom, took a second, I have my serial number matching, and I have my data here. So I click on the record here, and that's it. That's how easy it is to get the data from my phone. Okay. Also, one feature that I did not cover here is you have the data, you have 100 readings, you have a record of 100 readings. You can also delete them. If you need to delete them for some reason, there's also the feature on the phone. So you can delete the records and start all over again. If you have no more questions, then this ends our presentation almost on time. I hope you found it useful. If not, then here is our email address. And also, in the chat, we're gonna put the link to the Bricks Acid model that I just showed you. In case you want to reference it, that's on our YouTube account. But yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. Email us. And we're here to help. We're here to clarify anything. Thank you very much, and have a great day.